we got to talk about Lil Durk. Schmirk.
I had to turn it up a notch.
Schmirkio. Recently, he dropped a new album, or I should say his people dropped a new album called Deep Thoughts. And the reason I say that is because currently he's behind bars. If you guys don't know, he is, I guess, currently under investigation by the feds for a capital murder trial. Or, sorry, charge, I should say. I'm not going to get into much of that because that's not even what we're here to discuss. But that is information that's relevant. But, yo, man, Deep Thoughts came out, man. I feel like people are discussing Durk. If Durk was on the streets, that album would have been 3 times as big. Right? And I feel like it kind of came and went, even though I believe it did about 70K units.
67K.
Something like that.
Finished 4th on the Billboard charts.
Very respectable,
yes.
I think. Very respectable.
Nav beat it.
He should. He's on the streets.
That's true.
Come on, man.
That's true.
By the way, I think people are probably surprised about Nav, too. Nav is actually a pretty big artist.
Yeah, Nav is pretty big.
I don't know if people recognize that, but Q, man. Big. You know, Lil Durk on his last album that he dropped was called Almost Healed. He had them big songs like All My Life. People were saying, is Durk really is he really healed, or is he just like trying to monopolize this whole good guy era? But I felt like this album he switched it up a bit. But talk to me about the album first. Did you like the album, and then maybe we can get into some other stuff after that?
I enjoyed it, man. I really enjoyed this Durk album. It felt like, you know, we talked from the minute that Durk started to blow up. I was always like, yo, you know, he can put together the good street stuff, and, you know, he can put together songs here and there, but I'm like, I'm not exactly sure if he can put together a body of work that shows his growth as an artist, that shows that he's really good at this music thing. Because I really believe Durk is a good musician. Like,
really?
I think
You've upgraded? You've upgraded?
Musician.
I remember there was some speculation at one point.
I'm not
from you.
From me, there was some speculation. I mean, it was more so. So we were talking about Lil Baby and Lil Durk.
That was the discussion at the time.
Putting them lumping them together, and I was like, I don't think Lil Durk, what he was giving the people at the time, was necessarily matching the hype that people were giving him. That's what I was trying to say. However, I do think Lil Durk is definitely a good artist. You know, at the time, remember Lil Durk kept reverting back to that like kill, like Ops is dead type music, right? And he was doing that in Almost Hill. I thought he did it too much. In this album, there's way more balance. There's romantic songs. There's songs like the song with Hunxho. I was like, dog, like
loved it. Late checkout.
Yeah, it's just so unorthodox. It forced you to tap in to a side that you're like, wow, I didn't even know like that was there for Durk. And then, you know, you got songs with the one with Jhene Aiko I thought was pretty cool. And then at the same time, he does have the street bangers. If you want to call Turn Up a Notch a street banger, he does have those. But it's different from what he was doing in the past. So when you talk about Durk progressing as an artist, this was the type of album I wanted to see out of him. And this is where I expected him to be 2-3 years ago. That's how I see it.
You know, I was one of the people. I'm gonna say this right now because I like to give you guys when I felt like I was wrong about an artist or what they were presenting. And I was one of those people when he dropped Almost Healed who was like, bruh, like you put out All My Life. That song is not emblematic of the title of that album. It's not emblematic of the music on that album. It was a scam, damn near. I would use that word.
I get you.
It felt like a scam, right? I get he won a Grammy for All My Life.
You forget too on Almost Healed it had skits. Like
That's
Alicia Keys opened it up. I got so excited.
She
was like, you know, Durk, you know, where you going?
That's a good point.
And I was like, yo, like, okay, this is about to be a
great
strong body of work. And I just, but sorry.
No, very important to say. You're right, but that's what I'm saying. Like even you're right. Even that was like. The anticipation was built. It's like, oh, damn, he about to really like go into this like introspective bag and, you know, talk from a street perspective of somebody who's actually healed. But he didn't do that on Almost Healed, in my opinion. And I thought that was a missed opportunity. However, I didn't think because of that he was gonna double down on the next project and give people what he was kind of teasing on that last one. And I feel like Deep Thoughts did that. Like Deep Thoughts, and I would be very curious to know what the album was before he went to jail versus what they ended up putting out. But this is how I know there was a real concerted effort from Durk specifically to like give a different street perspective. Because even the songs that have features with the street guys, like Future, he got Future to tap into like a different type of content. It wasn't just the street shoot 'em up. It was like, yo, this is how it is when you make mistakes. You going like the consequences
aspect. That was a very
aspect.
Interesting concept.
You see what I'm saying? Even when you think about the feature with Lil Baby, obviously they had the voice and the voice of the heroes, which I thought was that is a very underrated project.
It's a good album.
Too. Very dope.
It's a good album.
But even this was that same content where he did get Lil Baby to tap into that. The essence of why I believe people really rock with Lil Baby. It's like here you got somebody who can rap, but he's giving a story about the ins and outs, right? The street perspective, but all right, here's how you can make it out. So I'm saying I think they delivered, man. The features wise, I think overall you could tell Durk was going into more of a religious angle. He even had a song called Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
You know, really. I mean, look at the album cover. Yeah. He's clearly on, I believe, like a religious rug or something like that.
Yeah.
And so I feel like the album was good overall, man. I thought it was a good album. Well, there were a lot of songs, I will say, that reminded me of songs from the last album. Like he had a song called crap, I'm drawing blank. Vanish Mode reminded me of What Happened to Virgil. Like I would say he recycled a lot of
I really
different.
like Vanish Mode.
He's rapping the exact same of What Happened to Virgil. Like you look at the.
I liked it. Yeah.
But overall, I don't want to pet peeve because I do think that's just his style. It's a good album. It's a good album.
It's a good album.
Yeah,
I will say this, like we got 1 minute left.
Yeah.
I will say this. This is what frustrates me. I think the most about Lil Durk is not anything that he's doing. But like you said about the opportunity, right? Like Lil Durk, to me, his story is such a good one.
It's compelling.
Like, and we're seeing it from like start to finish. Like this is, Lil Durk was a guy that was in and out of jail. Father did some time in jail. He's in the streets. He gets mad respect in the streets. He, in real time, is trying to change his life for the better. He's going into these communities, but the street life keeps calling him back. Street life keeps calling him back. And unlike most artists, they're not detailing it in the way Durk has been detailing it. Durk is saying, I'm not going to diss my ops no more. I'm going to start doing this. I'm looking for religion. Like you're seeing in real time the story of a guy who is trying to leave the street life behind. This is like a Tyler Perry movie. Like this is a straight up movie, and that's why I'm like, if his albums,
to give it a little bit more. I mean, this ain't Tyler. This is like motion picture.
This
is like
a motion.
Big budget.
This is like the Hughes brothers. How about that?
Listen to the full episode. Link below.